Happy Saturday. It's podcast time. How y'all doing? Song one more time. Welcome to Scholarship Tea with me, the Scholarship College Mama. Happy Saturday. It is January 11th. Oh my goodness, this has been the longest few days of the new year ever. I hope you all are well. I hope you're safe. First of all, we got to start with prayers going out to everyone in California, victims and everyone affected by the wildfires in LA County, Altamira, Pasadena. I've been doing a lot of content lately on the teachers that are affected, students and families that have been affected, and the middle class Black neighborhood of Altamira that is not getting a lot of attention in the media and in the news and in the press. So I've been focused on that the last few days. 2025 has been really wild and crazy. TikTok may be on its way out or maybe not. We're not sure. They just heard that in the Supreme Court this week. They heard arguments from both sides. I guess Mark Zuckerberg thinks that Facebook and Instagram and Meta are on the rise when clearly, if there's no more TikTok, I'm going to go sit down and read a book somewhere because Instagram is not it. And Facebook is definitely not it. So, just a lot of craziness going on. It is January though, and January means local scholarships. So that's definitely going to be our focus today. So, hey, how you doing? I hope you all are well. Thank you for being here. So last week was our inaugural episode. It was our initial episode, just talking about scholarships in general and how I got started with my 5 kids. My oldest, who's 28, I started about a decade ago with them. And then when the baby Elizabeth graduated in 2023, we found over $1 million in scholarships just for her. So that's when I decided that I wanted to help other people besides myself. So the Scholarship College Mama was birthed out of that. And I've been in business about 1.5 years. I love what I do. You all are amazing. Thank you for following me. Thank you for supporting me. I love what I'm doing. I'm blessed to do what I do in addition to teaching and being a mom and, helping my kids, being a wife, working in the community. I love doing what I do. So without further ado, let's talk about local scholarships. So local is the way to go. I cannot stress and emphasize this enough. Local scholarships are important because number one, they're local. You're supporting local businesses, but they're low competition and they're smaller amounts. As a matter of fact, we won, I want to say, $25,000 to $30,000 in local scholarships alone. That's just, separate from all the other money that we won. $30,000 we won, right? So for some reason, kids overlook local scholarships. I don't know if it's because the amounts are small or they scoff at the amounts, which I think is crazy. Because if you win enough of those, small amounts add up, and that matters when you're trying to pay for college, right? They think it's not worth their time or effort, but I'm here to tell you, yes, it definitely is. And because there's only a few students or not a lot of students applying, it increases your chances of winning significantly. These scholarships are designed to give back to the community that you live in, meaning they're looking to invest in you and they have money to give you. So give them a reason to give you the money, right? People just like you, students in the community that are leaders in and out of the classroom, that are part of the community, that share their values and their missions. Also, another thing that's important, and this is with any scholarship, make sure you look on the scholarship website to see what their mission statement is. And then you can see if your values align with theirs, if your mission aligns with theirs. And then when you're writing your essay, you can write to that. And you can say, here's how I align with you, your missions and your values, right? So local scholarships are often funded by small businesses, community organizations, or local municipalities or governments. They tend to have fewer applicants than the national big scholarships. See, national scholarships are nice. They're huge. It's great if you win them, but not everybody will, right? And so 20, 30, $40,000 is great to have, but the competition is fierce. And these kids across the nation are amazing. But local scholarships, you've got a great chance of winning, right? They have fewer applicants and they value connections to the community. They value leadership and they value civic engagement. So think about local. Now, where can you find local? Definitely the first stop would be your guidance counselor. Guidance is the way to go. Now, I've heard a lot of horror stories about guidance counselors in the last year or two, how they dropped the ball, how they're not helping students, how they're gatekeeping scholarships, how they're only giving scholarships to certain kids and not to every kid. I'm here to tell you, your guidance counselor is supposed to be fighting for you and working for you. And if they're not, you better walk into that main office and make sure that they do. Every office and every guidance counselor should have a box or an envelope of local scholarships. Even look on your high school website and look on the tab that says guidance. They should have scholarships. And another thing you can do is look at the neighboring high school to see what kind of scholarships they have also. They may have scholarships that your school doesn't, right? So let's talk about the types of scholarships that you can find and you can win. These scholarships often fall into specific categories like academic, community, service, athletic, or even unique hobbies. That's why it's important to know what's your it factor. What are you good at? What are you passionate about? What do you love to do? Right? Because that's going to help you win. All right. Number one is community sponsored scholarships. They are offered by Rotary clubs, the Elks, the Masons, Kiwanis Club, local businesses of that nature. City and county scholarships sponsored by your local government or community foundations. Community foundations are really big. If you go to www.cof.org, that's a community foundation locator. That can help you find local scholarships and community foundations in your area. Next up is school-specific scholarships provided by high schools for graduating seniors. Next up is industry-specific scholarships, local scholarships in certain niche fields like healthcare, engineering, nursing, or education. You can find those scholarships locally. Next up is demographic-specific scholarships. These are scholarship opportunities in your city or in your town for students from underrepresented backgrounds, like if you're African American, or if you're Caribbean, or if you're Hispanic, or if you're Asian, or if you're Polish or Italian, right? Minority and ethnic specific scholarships are in your city and in your town. So you want to make sure to look for those. Next up, how do you find local scholarships? Number one, start at school. Like I said, your guidance counselor, your advisor, your college counselor, your career advisor, or even the principal, or teachers. Teachers that have been teaching seniors for a long time, they know which scholarships are open and available to you. Number two, visit the library. Many local organizations will post flyers in the community rooms of local libraries. Number three, community centers. Check the bulletin boards at rec centers or cultural centers. Number four, search online using key terms and search optimized terms like your city, your county, your region, or your state, and then put the word scholarships. You'll get pages and pages of local scholarships. And then you also want to leverage relationships. Ask your mentors, ask your teachers, ask your coaches, ask your music or dance teachers, your cheer coach. Ask them about scholarship opportunities that they know of in your area. All right, so here are some pro tips for success and some pro tips to winning. Once you've found those local scholarships, the next step is standing out in your application. Here are a few tips to help you do just that. Tip number one, personalize your essay by connecting your story to your community. Number two, focus on your community involvement, your volunteer work in and out the classroom, your school clubs, and local events you've participated in. Number three, meet the deadline, meet the deadline, meet the deadline. Any of the kids that work with me that are on my scholarship squad know that I say the deadline is never the deadline. You should always have your scholarship in a week before the deadline hits. So meet the deadline and double check the requirements of the scholarship. Number four, request recommendation letters from people who you know, who like you back, that can write to your strengths and your contributions. And number 5, follow up with a thank you note. If you are awarded a scholarship, definitely thank the local organization or municipality or the group that gave it to you. 9 times out of 10, they may want to give you more money next year. So you want to make sure that you write that thank you note and keep that relationship, foster it, keep in touch with those people. And they also want to hear how you are doing, right? And let's see, encouragement. I want you to stay encouraged, and I want to give you these resources before we wrap up and I end episode 2. I'm so excited. Thank you all for supporting and listening. Again, this podcast is something I've dreamed of doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I want to make sure that I get you all the information in every way possible, at every avenue possible. So remember that local scholarships are more than just financial aid. They are a way to connect with your community and show how much you care about where you are from and where you live. If you haven't started your scholarship search yet, start today. Today is the perfect day to do so. I'm going to leave some links in my Substack and on my site. You know my email, info@scholarshipcollegemama.com. If you need any free links and free lists, especially for January and for February coming up, I can absolutely help you get started. I want to encourage you to share this podcast with other people, with family and friends. Direct them to the Stand Store and the website. It is a resource hub for all things scholarships, grants. We don't do loans over here. I also want you to share your wins. If you're winning, please let me know. Please let me know that what I'm doing is helping you, what you're doing is working. If you have any wins or anything you want us to celebrate or highlight, please let me know. Please, please, please. And please remember to start applying to scholarships today. There are hundreds of thousands of dollars available right now, and so much money goes unclaimed because kids don't know, kids don't show up for, kids don't apply to scholarships. So if TikTok goes away, I am on Instagram at scholarshipcollegemama.com. I'm on YouTube under the same handle. I'm still on TikTok. And remember, every Saturday night at 8 p.m., you can join me for Saturday Night Live, where we talk about scholarships, financial aid, college admissions, and everything under the sun. Local is the way to go now that it's January. If you apply now, you hear back in February, and they cut the check late spring, early summer on your way to college. So you want to make sure that you apply today. If you need a free list, please let me know. I've got sites that you can look at and scholarships to apply to. Please keep listening to the podcast. Please keep supporting. Please keep me in your prayers and keep us elevated over here at the Scholarship College Mama. If you have any questions, you could definitely email me, drop them in Substack, or drop them in the chat. We do appreciate you, and we thank you for joining us today.